My mornings would often be horrible. I would spend most of the time trying to wake up, yet always find myself back in bed sleeping for an extra couple of hours, which wasn't even great sleep. I decided that if I really wanted to change, then so did my mornings.
Now, I know a lot of these morning routines have like 5 hours of meditation and all that sort of stuff, but to be honest, most of us don't have that time. So I'm going to take you through my morning routine, probably at some different points because it still is 6:15 in the morning and everyone's probably still asleep. And I will need to be quiet, so I'll do some things later on, but I'll take you through it the same way I would go through it anyway. This can be a sort of average of 7 to 40 minutes, which I usually do, just to get your day started in the right way. Okay, let's get going. Oh, by the way, my name's Andy. I'm here to try and help you become the best version of yourself and practice the things to help me do the same as well. Lovely to meet you. Okay, let's get going. Yeah, good morning. So the reason you actually do that is to create a shock in the system. It allows you to sort of get back to reality instead of what you were going to sleep. This has been one of the most beneficial ways that it's actually helped waking me up in the morning because I was never really someone who got up. But yeah, let's continue our morning. Now the water in the face, that's a game changer. It's one of those things that wake you up from a sort of 0 to a 4 and it really gets you ready to move forward with the day. You've sort of conquered that start if you're able to get up and if you're able to just splash the cold water on your face. It seems like you just become more prepared for what you want to do. And the second most important thing is to rehydrate. I always want to do the Fred and George Goblet of Fire, bottoms up, but I can't. Yeah, as you can see, I can't. We all know that we end up dehydrated after we've had our sleep, so hydrating in the morning is potentially one of the best things you can do. And often, dehydration is the cause of many problems that we have. It comes to headaches, not wanting to be productive, lack of focus. There's so many different variables that dehydration can do. If you're feeling in sort of a slump at some points, try drinking some water. It might actually change it, and a lot more than you'd expect.
By far, this is the hardest part of the day. If you're able to push through and just get a little bit further in this section, you're already well on your way to making this whole day incredible. If you've watched this channel before, you'll know meditating does have its benefits and is actually backed up by research and why I do it. So I usually do one of 3 things within it. First, I try to slow my breathing down. This is just to get me ready for the day, to slow my heart rate, keep it calm, and just really think about what I'm wanting to do. Second is I try to control my thoughts as best I can. I've dealt with intrusive thoughts and I've read books to try to deal with them better, and I feel this time within meditation, your mind wanders. It always does. It's never something that just stays still, and you have to think about something. So what I try to do is I try to sort of lift up my anxiety, to pressure myself into thinking about the things that come into my mind that I don't really want. It's a sort of therapy to allow you to actually commit to making the danger that happens when you think about your intrusive thoughts not become as dangerous in your mind anymore. And it allows you to just accept that thoughts are thoughts and they're not actually who you're meant to be. I'll leave the book down below because it has really helped me understand the brain process of intrusive thoughts and how to deal with them better. It's a lifelong process and you're probably going to have them forever, but if you can control them and understand them better, it's going to make you a happier life. Finally, I do a thing that I'm still doing a lot of research on, but it's based on visualization. I spend the last minute thinking of the person I intend to become and what I intend to do that day. I see myself in the process of creating what I'm wanting to create, making it flow, and it looks easy to me. And I'm also seeing the person I'm intending to become in the future, and that also becoming someone who I want to be. Yes, I know it's a little bit hard when you're someone who didn't really visualize in the past, but it has definitely helped me get a clearer mental picture of the person I intend to become for the future. And that's my 5 minutes of meditation. Doesn't take up too much time, helps me get my day started focusing on me, and yeah.
Next, and one of the most important things that people don't often think about is your phone. Your phone is something that can make you overwhelmed in the morning and can take you away from your tasks that you're trying to prioritize and get you ready for the day. Social media is there to make you feel overwhelmed, bring negativity into your life. And I can guarantee if you go into Twitter in the morning, as soon as you wake up, you're going to find something that annoys you. I have now kept my phone away from my bed and out of sight and listened to Kindle books when I'm going to sleep, purely because waking up in the morning, I always found myself scrolling through my phone for an hour minimum just for the sake of it. It was close to me. When it's out your bed, it's not near you, then you have to get up to get your day started, which I felt was extremely important for me to do. I use my phone for specific things during my morning routine, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But I don't use it for any social medias and actually don't have Twitter on my phone anymore, which has helped massively in my sort of battle of not using social media as much. Your morning is for you. It's not for anyone else. It's not for your social media. So take the time away. And if you want to post something and you want to get something up, great, but don't spend that time scrolling through other people's stuff. Make it about you, make it about your morning, and start the day off the right way. Next up is my affirmations, which you've seen earlier on. I usually leave them out the night before, read them once a day when I wake up and then once before I'm going to bed. These are based on a few of the researches that I've done. This is from some of the books that I've read and some of the ones that I have made up myself. Now, affirmations are something that I didn't believe in the past, and the law of attraction, a little bit iffy, but what I do believe in is that you have to really believe that you can become this person. You know, you can't wake up every day and say, I'm never going to do anything in my life, because you never will. You know, you have to think to an extent that the person you become is what you are meant to be. It's like Seth Godin says, you have to live the lie and live it with purpose and fully. So I write down my affirmations based off of the person I intend to become and living my life to the person I want to be to help others become the best version of themselves too. Yes, things like this often take a lot of time and work and effort to be able to understand fully, to maybe unlock something you didn't have before, but I truly believe that in the future, as I think this and I continue to progress on actually taking action on it, I'm pushing myself to take that action because I say to myself, I intend to become this person. Law of attraction has had a lot of faults in the past with fraudulent people, Napoleon Hill, which I found, and also The Secret, a book that was heavily influenced by a lot of people back in the 2000s era. I understand why a lot of people think the law of attraction is complete crap, and I think some of it definitely is, but I do believe there is parts of you that have to believe that you can become someone who's great, and I spend a minute or so reading that just to start off with a little bit of an affirmation. For the past 90 days or so, I have been journaling using the 6-minute diary, something I've talked about in quite a few of the videos in the past. And the reason I believe journaling is so good is because it allows you to be more grounded with what you're doing in your life. In the past, always journaling for me was something that I write about my day and that was it. And I'd always fail. I'd try it 6 or 7 different times, trying to build that habit, and it never worked. But the difference with the 6-minute diary is that it asks you weekly questions. It asks what you plan to do to make today great, your positive affirmation for yourself, what you're grateful for, your good deeds. It allows you to be more grounded in just what happens in your life. And I think that's something we often forget. And by reminding ourselves and being able to look back on what we were grateful for that day, what we'd done that day, we see, are we actually becoming the person we want to become, or are we sort of losing sight of that person? Or is there something we could just do to maybe make someone else's day brighter? You know, maybe you didn't find yourself doing a good deed, so you make sure that the next day you go and do a good deed. You message someone and you tell them that you hope they have a great day. You hold the door for someone. Anything that just allows you in your mind to process, hey, I've done something good today. And I think that's something that we need to think about a little bit more. Now, reading, that is the next one. So the problem people have with reading is that they never take action. No matter what they do, no matter what they're reading, they will read and they'll consume and they'll love, and then they won't do anything with it. And that's the problem. When you don't take action with what you're doing, you become nobody. You don't become anything new. You just feel like you are because you've got that illusion that what you have read is who you are going to become. In reality, the only way to actually see if that's the person you want to become is by taking action on what you're doing. And even then, you're not guaranteed anything. Just like you're not guaranteed on taking action and becoming successful by doing the work.
that's not guaranteed, and it's going to take a lot of trial and error to do so, but it's the point of actually doing it. The only way to make any business book, finance book, or self-development book worthwhile is taking action on it, seeing what works for you, continuing to test, trial, and improve for yourself, your own person, and then moving forward. People can help you get the basis of what you're wanting to do, but you have to take that action to do so. And this is the problem a lot of people have with books.
Next up is fitness or exercise. I mean, it doesn't take a lot, but your action creates a sort of reaction in your body. So by doing some exercise, you just allow your body to get moving. And I mean, everyone knows the benefits of exercise.
Because I go my walk and want to go to the gym as well, I tend not to spend too much time doing this, but just to get my body moving, the blood flowing, and allow me to get on to what I want to do next. It really doesn't have to be much. 1 or 2 sets of anything that you want, just to help your body get prepared for what you're going to do. You're going to eat, you're going to work, you're going to push yourself, so you may as well get your body started that way. To sort of close off the morning routine, I listen to my podcast and take notes on it. This is the important thing for books and podcasts. I have archives for everything that I listen to and everything that I read. I take notes on it and use active learning and spaced repetition on both of those to be able to continuously learn and relearn from all the things that I've taken from these books and podcasts. At this point, I turn on my PC, so I'm then able to go onto Notion. I'm able to see the things that I've written for each book, for each podcast episode, and use the things that I can learn and then take forward into the future. Again, I may not read 600 books in a year, but I know I would much rather read 10 books that I truly understand, take action on, and become a better person than be someone who says they've read 600 books in a year and haven't actually changed. The final part of my morning routine is to work for 25 minutes. Usually the Pomodoro I use is 50 minutes and 20 minutes break, but I do 25 minutes of work just to get started on my priority list right away. I write my priority list the night before and write out what I exactly want to do step by step, just to make sure that when I get up, I don't have to think about what I need to do that day. Because at night, you're often not doing too much anyway. And if just before I can go to bed, I can think of what steps I'm then going to take to climb higher up that mountain, then I can wake up, spend the first 25 minutes working on this, and then go get fueled up with my breakfast for the day. The priority list is extremely important, and I recommend anyone trying it when they're doing their morning routine. And that sort of concludes what my morning routine is. I understand that it probably was a little bit different. I may have talked a little bit quieter, but people are still in bed, so yeah. This morning routine doesn't take long, and it gives most of the benefits with what is actually backed up by data. And I'm not just telling you these things because of the sake of telling you. I'm telling you because I've actually used them and have seen progressive benefit on each that I have used. It's going to take time to get into a morning routine. It's sometimes better for someone who doesn't like to wake up early in the morning. I just find that when you wake up earlier, you have sort of quiet, you are up before most people, and you're able to just enjoy that time. It's that sense of accomplishment that you don't often get from many other things. And whenever I woke up later, I'd always feel that I've just wasted the day, and why I made sure to focus on making my morning routine something that benefited me more than anyone else. We give so much time to other people for no real reason and end up wasting our whole day for others rather than ourselves, when we are the person who has to live with us 24/7. My morning routine might not be the flashiest, and it might not be the thing that gets the most clicks in the world, but it works for me. And I know that in 20 years' time, I'll thank myself every single time that I chose to get up and get to work when I wanted to. And I know I'll look back in this video and again thank myself for doing what I was doing. If you have any questions regarding my morning routine or any advice I have for someone who may want to change things up, let me know down in the comments. And if you did enjoy this type of video, liking the video or subscribing to the channel helps a lot more than you know. I want to thank all the patrons for continuing to support me in doing what I'm doing. And if you'd like to watch the next video on the channel, which I know you will love, it'll be on the screen right now. Have a fantastic day.